By the year 2026, the traditional search bar and conversational chatbot have officially splintered into something much more active. Smartphones now host agentic AI, autonomous threads that navigate apps and execute real-world tasks without waiting for step-by-step instructions. This shift changes the criteria for buying a phone. The choice is less about physical specs and more about the underlying architecture of the AI. For a digital assistant to be truly autonomous, it requires access to a user's entire digital history. This creates a direct tension between automation and data privacy. The tech giants have responded with three distinct strategies: Apple with local encryption, Google with cloud-based intelligence, and Samsung with hardware-focused licensing. We can evaluate these systems by mapping them on two axes: capability and autonomy versus data privacy. Selecting a device in 2026 requires identifying which of these two values takes priority in your daily life. Apple's 2026 strategy centers on the iPhone 17 acting as a private data center, keeping processing strictly within the device's physical frame. The A20 Pro processor enables this through an 85 TOPS neural engine, which handles the heavy lifting of modern AI models locally. Apple's engineers used 4-bit quantization to fit a 12 billion parameter language model into the phone's RAM. This allows the device to summarize emails without sending a byte to an external server. To protect this, iOS 19 introduces post-quantum cryptography against next-generation computing power. Large-scale systems like the IBM Quantum System 1 can theoretically use Shor's algorithm to break standard encryption. Apple's PQC is designed to make data unreadable, even to these massive quantum-scale processors. However, local processing limits the AI's reach. A 12 billion parameter model lacks the deep reasoning of massive models running in the cloud. In TekinGame lab benchmarks, Apple ranked third in cloud latency. The system often pauses when asked to solve complex problems requiring off-device power. Choosing Apple means accepting a more restricted assistant in exchange for a mathematical guarantee that your personal data stays on your device. Google operates with the opposite philosophy. At the Googleplex, the focus is on Gemini Spark, a cognitive layer that lives primarily in the cloud. The Tensor G6 chip in the Pixel 11 acts as a sensor bridge, capturing your voice and surroundings. It instantly transmits that data to TPU v7 cloud processors. This centralized power enables Gemini Spark to act independently, navigating the web and handling tasks on your behalf. This architecture is built for speed. TekinGame Lab recorded Google's cloud latency at 85 milliseconds, the absolute fastest response time in our 2026 tests. The trade-off for this speed is total data transparency. For Google's agents to automate your life, they must constantly access your private accounts. This also creates a vulnerability to session hijacking. If a hacker deceives your autonomous agent, they can direct it to transfer funds or export documents. Google is the choice for users who prioritize maximum productivity and are comfortable using their personal data as the currency for that automation. Samsung remains the leader in physical hardware and industrial design, producing the most advanced display and camera technology of 2026. The newly engineered Exynos 2600 chipset uses advanced AMD RDNA 4 graphics architecture to provide absolutely class-leading 3D rendering and unmatched gaming performance in your hand. But Samsung faces a software dilemma. Because operating systems are driven by AI, they chose to license Google's Gemini models rather than develop their own. This creates a data bypass. Users pay for premium hardware, but their personal information still travels directly to Google's servers to power the AI features. Our tests show a lack of synergy between the hardware and the licensed software. Samsung ranks last in AI battery optimization, showing significantly higher power draw. Samsung provides the most refined physical device, but it requires users to navigate a fractured experience between hardware and the software running it. Your choice between these three comes down to identifying which sacrifice you are willing to make. If you are a privacy purist, the Apple ecosystem is the clearest path. You likely handle sensitive work data and prefer a localized assistant that offers a post-quantum security guarantee, even if it is less capable than cloud rivals. If you are a hyper-productivity optimizer, the Google ecosystem is designed for you. You want an assistant that reclaims your time by acting on your behalf, and you accept that your data is the primary fuel for that service. If you are a hardware enthusiast, Samsung remains the top recommendation. You prioritize the quality of the screen and the raw rendering power of the GPU over a unified software and battery experience. The current market shows that building a competitive AI from scratch is a multi-billion-dollar hurdle, leaving software independence as a feature only the largest cloud and hardware giants can afford. The best phone in 2026 is the one that aligns with your specific tolerance for data sharing and your need for automation.